All right, it's time for the Daily Debate Goes. You ready for this one?
Let's do it.
It reflects on what's happening here in Las Vegas. Got 2 title fights on Saturday. Do you think Tyron Woodley will be granted an immediate title rematch if he loses to Kamaru Usman at hashtag UFC 235? That's the co-main event to John Jones and Anthony Smith.
There are so many small questions within this. Does he deserve it? Absolutely. Even if the fight ended quickly, I think he would still deserve it. He's one of the greatest welterweights to ever live. But I don't think he's one of the UFC's favorite fighters. And I just feel like in a world where the UFC's been so unpredictable, I could see him getting passed up for someone else.
I think he's going to get one because the only way I see him not getting one is if Kamaru Usman wins every round and they render the scores 50-45, maybe even a 50-44 in there, and everybody goes, "Why do we need to run this one back?" You know, it's one guy dominated the other one. Other than that, I think if somebody gets, you know, if there's a competitive fight and Usman wins, I think Woodley's got the case, and I'll tell you why. Because he's coming up on his 5th title defense. I mean, he's reaching a legendary status in the welterweight division and really all of MMA, especially with him winning a Strikeforce belt, him having so many skins on the wall. So I think there's a point where we'll say the word difficult. I think the UFC probably thinks Tyron is difficult, but I don't think he's a jerk. You know, I don't think he's an asshat.
He's like a role model, really, when you think about it.
Oh, yeah, yeah. He conducts himself well, but for some reason there seems to be a friction there between the UFC and Tyron Woodley. Although it sounds like, per that little scrum he had in LA recently, he's out of the doghouse. But I think it would be hard to pass up. I think he would deserve it. Plus, I don't think he'll take it either. I think he's one of those guys that's vocal. He's in Dana's ear, and he'll get himself a rematch. But again, he can't get dominated for 5 rounds. I think he's got to be competitive.
And he's got to be ready to
And
go.
that said, I think he's the one that's going to win the fight. But I think it can go either way. Both guys are tough. I think he's going to be the one that wins the fight. So I say he does get a rematch.
I think he would have to be ready to go the next day. Because if he says, I need a day to recover, they're going to say, well, we're just going to skip you. It's the UFC. You have no idea what's going to happen. I could even see them saying, remember Colby Covington? We kind of screwed him. Let's give him the shot. I don't see it happening.
So you think he's still in kind of a proverbial doghouse?
I think he is a little bit, yeah.
All right, well, this is how Junkie Nation came. 1,807 votes. Junkie Nation, readers of the site, listeners of the show, you came strong. 73% said no. 27% said yes. There you have it. There's today's Daily Debate, brought to you by Goes and I. Keep it locked on MMA Junkie throughout the week for UFC 235 coverage. And check out our show, MMA Junkie Radio, Monday through Friday, 5 Pacific, 8 Eastern on Fight Nation Channel 93 on Sirius XM.